felt like Pickens didn't have her best stuff yesterday. Want to give her another go?
Pickens starts with strike one to Mackenzie Rudity. 55 degrees at first pitch. It is cool here. It's kind of been a damp morning, but the sun is trying to fight through here. So forecasts looking pretty promising this afternoon. May touch low 60s. And this is for a ball. It's 1-1. Rudity leading things off again. This is her 6th straight game in the leadoff spot. Sierra Briggs having a good series. Newland, Gutierrez, and Taylor Pleasance in the 5-hole. 2-1. Pickens yesterday went the distance, gave up 3 hits, gave up the only earned run of the series for either team. Didn't walk anybody. In fact, Tennessee has not walked a batter in this series. Gottschall and Pickens. Rudity fouls it off, and it's 2-2. So you touched on it. Karen Weekly thought that Carlin Pickens didn't show her very best yesterday. What did you two see from her yesterday against this LSU team? Just giving up that home run to Gutierrez.
I love her off speed. I mean, I feel like that's something that she's throwing so much more. And, you know, Karen Weekly's point was she still left more mistakes down the middle that LSU did not capitalize on. But what stood out to me is everyone talks velo, rightly so. But it's really the changeup to me that impresses me most about Pickens.
Yeah, and she mentioned command of that changeup.
Ground ball to second. Destiny Rodriguez over to Katsoyanopoulos at first. One down here in the first.
Getting back to that command of the changeup, it's really ability to throw that for a strike or dump it down in the zone. And when Pickens has that changeup on, that's really what makes the rest of her game, because she is all power. She's going to be above 70 miles an hour this entire game. She's got elite movement. Her rise ball will clock a little slower, 68 to 70 miles an hour, but it's the changeup. When that is commanded through the zone and she gets hitters to chase it down out of the zone, that's typically when you see her dominate.
Here is Sarah Briggs. Briggs has a couple of hits in the series, including a single in the first inning yesterday against Pickens. One.
The other thing that did stand out too, and LSU is known for a team that can hit velocity, but there were only 4 swings and misses yesterday. And Carlin Pickens gets a lot of swing and miss. One of the changeup we've talked about, but also because of that velocity.
Also the game within the game. If you've been with us all weekend, we talked about how LSU does not swing and miss much at all as a team. They are number 1 in the SEC in fewest strikeouts, just 124 strikeouts total this season, 8 coming in this series.
Yeah, and they've walked 175 times.
Well, Briggs swinging a miss. She's been putting it into play, but not this time as Pickens gets her for out number 2.
And she gets her on the changeup, and that is the pitch.
It's generally been the game 3 starter for LSU, but Berzon getting the call today and facing Kiki Malloy to start things here in the home half of the first.
So I think the keys for Tennessee are going to be not chasing that drop ball from low to lower into the zone. They're going to need to make Berzon bring that pitch up, which they did not do a whole lot.
Strike one to Malloy, 347 on the season with 9 homers, 21 runs batted in, 1 for 5 in the series, walked, hit by a pitch. Tennessee got Malloy to the plates in a 1-0 game. She was the winning run at the plate yesterday, but Kelly Lynch capped off a terrific complete game performance by getting the strikeout of Malloy to end it for LSU.
How they got Kiki Malloy out was coming inside a lot and then off speed away.
That's a ball, 3-1. As you saw the starting lineup, no changes for Karen Weekly. Wasn't too thrilled. We talked to her in-game and then caught up with her this morning. She didn't love the team's approach at the plate yesterday against Lynch. We'll see if they follow the playbook here today against Berzon.
The 5 pitches that Kiki Malloy has seen, 3 of them have been changeups.
3-2. Popped up right field. Coming in is the right fielder, Rudity. 1 away. So Sydney Berzon, who's had an outstanding season for LSU, the sophomore from Buffalo, had all 3 wins in the Texas A&M series a few weeks ago. What does she bring to the plate?
She's going to be high 60s. She gets a lot of swing and miss in all parts of the zone because, as we mentioned, she'll work that drop ball down and she'll work the rise ball up. She can also go outside with a little bit of a curve, but it's really that drop ball that is elite. She's pinpoint with it, and when she can get you chasing from low to lower into the dirt is when she's most effective.
Misses for ball 2 to McKenna Gibson, leading hitter for this Tennessee team at .357, leading the team in RBI with 36, but 0 for 6 in the series. Talked about it just a few moments ago, how LSU has really done a great job at the top of the lineup. This one is snagged by the freshman third baseman Manning over to first in time, making the second start of her collegiate career, and that's her toughest chance she's had so far.
How about Madison Manning? You mentioned second career start. This is going to be my point is the key, is Sydney Berzon throwing down in the zone. The left side of the infield is why they got the loss. 3 errors. The bulk of that coming at third base.
2 things. You could see behind Gutierrez the reaction in the dugout and the smile on the first baseman's face, Gutierrez, and you can still hear how they're celebrating in the dugout because this was a freshman who wasn't going to play this year, but they were struggling in the field, so Beth Torina put her out in the field yesterday. She's in the batting lineup today for the first time in her collegiate career, so a lot happening for the freshman.
4th different third baseman for LSU this year. It just speaks to how big of a I guess you could say disruption it was when Danica Coffey was injured. Not only lose her coach, lose her in the lineup, but obviously in defense.
So getting this one off the bat is Zeta Puni. She has the game's first hit, solid single to left with 2 down here in the first. First hit of the series for Puni, on base for a 3rd time.
Top of the strike zone does a nice job of coming up and meeting him. This is the swings of Tennessee. They've been getting around middle to away. So if Berzon misses, does not hit her spot away, and she gets anything middle, they will pull it to the left side.
Here's Riley West, who takes strike 1. West has done a good job in the field defensively for the Lady Vols. Has a couple of hits at the plate in the series. 2 for 6. One and 1. West beginning play .351 on the season, hit .275 last year, so one of the most improved hitters in this Tennessee lineup. Heading the count 2-1 with 2 down here in the first. Berzon went 6 on Friday, gave up 3 hits. As we mentioned, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, threw 101 pitches, 70 for strikes. So you know she's going to be around the plate all game long.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Tennessee, obviously not in this situation, but tries to maybe do some more hit and runs, get their players in motion.
2-2. Popped up, foul ground out of play.
I'm interested in seeing as this game goes on the offensive adjustments that Tennessee makes, because they did not make any yesterday. 14 flyouts, 6 strikeouts, and just got to do something a little bit different if you want to put runs up on the board.
Called strike 3. Berzon gets the strikeout, and that will end. Gutierrez sticking the landing yesterday after the home run for LSU.
Yeah, it was a perfect salute to them. This was yesterday. The difference in the game, sticking the landing, LSU winning that national championship, and the connection between this team, and you heard him talking about it, but I mean, it's so cool, and that's what's the best thing about college sports, that bond you have with the other athletes.
There's a lot of pressure on these athletes, but I love the way Taylor Pleasant said it. They're always smiling and having fun, so a reminder for them to do the same.
Well, Raylene Gutierrez had the most fun of anyone who wasn't named Kelly Lynch yesterday with that home run, accounting for the only run of the game, allowing her to expertly stick that landing. I'd score that a 10.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and you talk about the change, Gutierrez last year to this year. I mean, she's just been outstanding. She's raised her batting average up significantly. She's got more power.
Always good in the field, but matching it at the plate this season. Gutierrez lays off the Pickens offering, and ahead in the count now 3-1 here in the second.
The biggest difference I've seen with her this year is the fact that if you watch her swing, it's like 80%. Like, she's just getting to the ball because she's so strong. She doesn't need to have a big swing.
Lays off for ball 4.
And because of that, she can lay off more pitches because she's not swinging out of her shoes. There, you saw her yes, 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 no last minute because it is more of an 80%
So
swing.
taking that 20% off kind of puts the brakes on.
And her
when
80% will hit it 40 feet further than most people's 100%.
Her 80% is 100% for most. Gotcha.
And it's lowered her strikeouts. Only 8 strikeouts on the year. That was her 22nd walk. So it just helps your entire game.
Strike 1 to Taylor Pleasance. Pleasance 0 for 6 in the series. Trying to find her swing here in SEC play. Ball 1, it's 1-1. Taylor, of course, a 5-year fixture in Beth Torina's starting lineup. Had a walk-off home run against Texas A&M. That was her last home run in SEC play. She's gone 10 games since her last conference home run.
Just looking for her first hit this series. We have highlighted her every game, and honestly, Tennessee highlights her every game. It's still their best hitter. You look at her non-conference numbers, especially the batting average, 388 compared to 150 in conference. It has been a difference, especially the last month of the season.
2-2. Pickens, the SEC Freshman of the Year last season, had 9 wins. Has dialed it up this year to 15 wins, a 1.16 earned run average. Opponents hitting just 152 against the sophomore. There's the change, it misses. Count out 3-2. Gutierrez with the leadoff walk. The 3-2 to Pleasance.
Just asking the plate umpire, is that a strike? Is that something I need to be swinging at? I said, yep. Would have rung you up. It's always good to know as a hitter.
Phil Frills, the plate umpire today, working with Brian Crochet, Matt Dial. Another 3-2 to Pleasance. Ground ball up the middle, and there's her first hit of the series. 2 on, nobody out here for LSU in the second, and that has to feel great for Taylor Pleasance.
Absolutely huge exhale for her, and I like the at-bat. You saw some not great swings early on. She worked her way back into this count, a full count, ended up getting a pitch more on the plate. Everything else she had swung at was off the plate. Nice job, just ground ball up the middle. Trying to break out of a slump. It's the best way to do it.
Make it today, so people bundled up, got the layers on. That includes Jesse Michelle.
Oh yeah. Callie and me never listen.
This is not California weather here in Knoxville
was,
today.
Though, the last 2 days.
It was nice.
Nice sunshine, almost 70 degrees.
A little chilly and the breeze blowing in right through your open window right in front of you. That's a foul ball as Petty was trying to sacrifice. Beth Torina having a conversation with the third base umpire.
Do you think it wasn't a foul ball? The runners were moving like it was just a pass ball, but I heard bat.
Yeah, I think she was just wondering too. Can we just talk this over? Because was it bat or just off the glove and not the bat?
Looked like it changed directions.
And then Nugent's glove came flying off.
I don't know, that angle.
It looked like it came down.
You would think just by Nugent's glove reaction that the ball fractionally had to change, right? So it's foul ball, the 0-1 for Pickens. 0-2. Petty 0 for 4 in the series. Second year with the Tigers after 3 seasons with Oklahoma State.
0-2 after not executing a sacrifice. That's frustrating if you're a coach. Giving up 2 strikes, I need you to get a bunt down.
Now it's hit something right side.
Pickens works outside, ball 1.
This is where, as a senior, you know situationally, what is your
Speed at second base, knowing that this is going to be another pitcher stool here today, as we've seen the last 2 games. Just 7 at-bats with runners on base so far for LSU in this series. Pickens delivers. Stop by Nugent, 2-2.
Yeah, it's a great stop by Nugent. That could very easily scored it away from her and allowed the runners to move up.
Ground ball right side, and Petty, after all that, does her job. Moves the runners over. Good at-bat for her after falling behind 0-2. Second and third with 1 out for LSU. Now bring up the number 7 hitter, the catcher, Macy Bajaran. 1 for 4 in the series. Second and third for LSU with 1 down. Strike 1.
Middle's pulled in. Wheeler and Rodriguez for Tennessee are going to be playing up the line. Gibson and
Beth Trina's losing her mind right now.
Halfway down the line to protest that strike call.
She came after home plate umpire Phil Friels. Pitch was up and in.
0-2. It's got the Tennessee fans fired up a little bit. Well, the Locos are always fired up. And well dressed. Swung on and missed. Pickens, she's fired up, getting the strikeout, 2 down.
Here, right now, get it done.
Here's Kelly Lynch. Lynch 207, the winning pitcher yesterday, hit for herself, as she normally does in the DP slot here today. Well,
I know it's early in the game right now, but because of what we've seen Friday and Saturday, just the lack of run production, the fact that you don't see runners at second and third, we haven't seen it all series long, so it feels like, okay, this is such a huge inning here in the second.
3-0, and you wonder too, with first base open, how Pickens wants to pitch Lynch, even though she's the number 8 hitter hitting 207, after her in the lineup as a player who has never had an at-bat.
Absolutely. I was
College
just gonna
softball.
Yeah, say, Eric, you're throwing to Lynch, hoping that she's going to swing at stuff out of the zone. Now she hasn't. First base is open.
She does throw strike 1. It's 3-1.
And speaking of Madison Manning, who has never played a college game or hit in a college game, you're going against 75 miles an hour.
3-1. Misses for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Madison Manning.
I think Beth Trina's going to go with a pinch hitter, which is smart. I don't know if this position will get up again with the bases loaded. How about Madison Manning, though? She's like gearing up her first at bat of her college career, and it's like, no, you're going to actually go back.
Yeah.
I was geared up, but Beth Trina's like, let's hold on for a moment here. Let's pitch hit for the freshman who made her collegiate debut this weekend, and she will bring in Sierra Daniel, another freshman to hit here in the second inning. To your point, Jess, pinch hitter, bases loaded, second inning. That's how tight the scoring has been in this series. So you can chase one home now. That will go a long way to determining who wins this series.
Sierra Daniel has yet to face Carlin Pickens in her career. I mean, she played and started in the first game. When Pickens came in, they pinch hit for her. And then she did not play yesterday.
Daniel, 371 on the season. This is her 28th game played, 23 hits on the season. So she's been a regular for LSU this season. First pitch from Pickens. Ground ball, too short, booted by Miller, but there to back her up is Destiny Rodriguez. She gets the force at second to retire the side.
Wow, and you talk about defense.
Another series win, and A&M is a team that they had a suspended game yesterday, so they got to finish that today against Ole Miss. They won game 1, and then they'll play game 3 later on this afternoon.
Texas A&M, a team that came in, coaches poll, they were lower middle of the pack, and here they are in the hunt. Impressive turnaround, Trisha Ford and company.
Emily Kennedy stretched their winning streak to 4 with a 4-hitter, getting 7 strikeouts in game 1 of the series Friday night against Ole Miss. Sophia Nugent leading off for Tennessee here in the second. Berzon pulls the string. Nugent way out in front, 2-2.
How about the run on it, though? I mean, yes, it was 59 miles an hour, but that thing was running right into the hands of Nugent.
Grounded to third. Manning back into the game across the diamond. Looks like a veteran out there.
They might have found it their baseman, guys.
In the top half of the second inning.
Just like they planned it.
To leave the bases loaded for LSU. Strike 1 from Berzon. Rodriguez 0 for 5 in the series, 263 on the season. She's got some pop, 5 home runs for the sophomore. Tennessee team with 64 home runs on the season. That's tied for second in the SEC, but LSU's pitchers have kept them in the park here in this series.
Yeah, they've done a good job of keeping them off balance, and Victorino, one of the best pitch callers in the game.
That one runs in on Rodriguez, hit by pitch, so with 2 down, Rodriguez is aboard.
I feel like that's been the key. Berzon hits Rodriguez there, but coming inside of these righties, both her and Kelly Lynch have done an excellent job. All right-handed lineup.
So here comes Julia Katsoyanopoulos, batting 8th, first baseman at 247 on the season. There's strike 1. Turns out Tennessee last Friday, they got run ruled by Mississippi State. They lose 9-1, 5-inning game. Things didn't look good for Tennessee, and it was, according to Karen Weekly, Katsoyanopoulos is the one who spoke up to the team, and they responded. This one's out of play. And took the next 2 games from a very good Mississippi State team.
Yeah, Karen talked about how, Kiki Malloy is always the leader. She's like, she speaks so much, it's almost like a coach at this point. And they start to, okay, Kiki, we get it. But when Julia spoke, you could hear a pin drop. And that's what's important is to get more voices, because it's your peers. When your peers are the ones saying, you guys, what are we doing? We are better than this. It's one thing if your coaches are getting on you, which they were, but when your own teammates are saying it, it means something.
Lays off, and it's 2-2. Came in and spoke to the team at the pregame meal Saturday. And according to Karen, Julia was still mad. And it sounds like I wouldn't want Julia Katsoyanopoulos mad at me. This is a ground ball right side and through for a base hit. Holding at second is Rodriguez, and Katsoyanopoulos has her first hit of the series. Comes with 2 down here in the second.
And this is exactly what Tennessee was not doing the first 2 games of the series. Look at the pitch location. Away, being able to stay through this ball. We have seen Tennessee hitters pull off of this pitch, try to pull it to the left side. Instead, a beautiful job of hitting. I get it's not the home run or even the gap, but a nice job of hitting the ball where it's pitched.
Yeah, this series has been all about pull and foul balls for Tennessee, not making adjustments. That is a great adjustment by Julia to go the opposite field with that, Jess. We were talking about this pregame, just watching the swings of Tennessee and really letting the ball travel. They've been around everything instead of hitting the inside of the ball.
Tennessee will bring out a pinch runner. It's Amanda Allen who will run for Rodriguez. Here's Laura Mueller. Strike 1 to Mueller, the number 9 hitter. Oh for 4 in the series. 2 on here in the second. 1-1. Tennessee 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position this weekend. Mueller 0 for 2, and down to the count 1-2.
And it's interesting, too, for Tennessee. The majority of their hits in this series have come with 2 outs.
Ground ball to Taylor Pleasance, who throws on the first in time to retire the side. So 33 hundredths of a second is what you're telling me we have to work with when Pickens is throwing 74, 75 miles an hour.
Which is why you see them so out in front of the changeup, because you got to cheat. I mean, realistically, are you making any kind of decisions in life in 0.3 seconds? No.
I'm trying to figure out, like, well, how long is a blink?
Yeah.
Is that it? Unfortunately, Jess, I do make a lot of decisions not thinking them all the way through, so maybe I should take a little bit more time. This is a good start here. Rudity leading off, sliding in with a double for LSU in the top half of the third inning. First hit of the series for the junior.
This is a rise ball that just does not get out of the zone. It's coming in about 65 miles an hour, and because of that, Rudity is able to get this barrel to it and just drive it over Panel's head in right field. This ball hit to the wall. Leadoff double for Rudity.
Strike 1 to Briggs. So if you're Karen Weekly, you start Carlin Pickens. I think everyone expected Peyton Gottschall. You wonder how long we'll see Pickens here before Gottschall, who carried a perfect game into the 7th inning against this LSU team, comes on here. There's a strike, and it's 0-2.
Sierra Briggs, who looked really good on Friday against Gottschall, actually was the one bright spot, broke up the no-hitter. He struggled here against Pickens, really seeing, I think, the ball. The last one was a strike. She looked back at the umpire like, what?
Gottschall watching from the dugout at the moment. Briggs, this is going to be trouble. She's got great speed, and making the play in time is Gibson. Rudity holds at second, 1 away.
Great job by Boo Gibson, that hot spot.
Well, knowing with the runner, right? I mean, Rudity did hold, but she had to look at her, be very quick to get the out.
Ball 1 to Allie Newland. Newland grounded to short her first time. Team leader in home runs with 8 on the season. LSU 36 total home runs. That's 9th in the SEC. Out in front, 1-1.
And that's the key, that pitch right there, the changeup. That one's lower in the zone. It's hard to identify. She'd been floating that higher, had been non-competitive, but that changeup at 61 miles an hour down the heart is going to be a big pitch.
Bunted foul, goes from 61 to 73 on back-to-back pitches.
LSU right now 0 for 5, trying to execute a bunt.
Rudity with a well-struck leadoff double. Swung on and missed. Down goes Newland. Strikeout number 3 for Carlin Pickens, 2 down.
Again, comes back to that changeup, located lower part of the zone again, hard to identify, and you can just see well out in front of it. It's just great velocity differential between those pitches in the mid-70s to the low 60s.
Gutierrez fouls it off her foot for strike 1. Yesterday, Gutierrez grounded back to Pickens in the first, and then in her second at-bat hit a no-doubt home run, her 6th of the season. Correction. Yeah, 6th of the season to account for the game's only run. My bad, 7th home run. Sorry, Raylene. The 3-game series. I got a lot of notes in my head, in front of me. I got to clean things up here. That 0.33 seconds, I could use that so effectively. So be better organized.
take an extra 0.3 seconds. It'll be good.
Oh, feel like an eternity. 2-1.
I think that's why Karen Weekly wanted to come back with Pickens today. She made that one mistake, and not a lot hit hard at all off of her. Other than that, knowing if it was a pitcher's pitch that she had had, that's one thing, but it was a pitch that was more middle.
3-1. And of course, Karen Weekly surprised us all by starting Gottschall on Friday when Pickens had been the Friday starter. So that's, you're trying to find any edge you can against one of the best teams in the country. LSU comes in ranked 7th, and maybe today's part of that too. Everybody expects Gottschall, and here comes Pickens. And there goes Gutierrez down the first, 2 on with 2 out for LSU here in the third.
Yeah, I don't mind this walk. I think this is not necessarily purposeful walk, but definitely let's make her chase and not have anything close. She's kind of one hitter that we've seen Pickens struggle against.
Well, Pleasance had a solid single her first time up. She steps in with 2 on here in the third. Taylor with a little bit of a smile, looking for her 8th home run of the season on that swing.
The game plan for LSU is to lay off the rise. So
It's
that's
so
probably
tempting.
why she's
Yeah.
smiling.
There's a strike, and it's 0-2 to Taylor Pleasance.
And that's when it's hard for a hitter. You get ahead of them, and 68-mile-an-hour rise ball out of the zone. You get her to chase, and then they dial it in on the corner at 74, and she watches it.
And your mind starts racing. What is Pickens going to throw here in the 0-2? Popped up on the infield. And Gibson cuts in front of Mueller. And that will do it on Georgia in SEC play. Berzon throws it into right field. Slamming on the brakes is Kiki Malloy because Mackenzie Rudity was there to back it up. Malloy did not take the turn to second base. She stopped just in time. The tag put on just in case. She's safe at first.
Take a look where Carly Petty is. This is a bunt on the second baseman. It's not really about the corners, the pitcher. This is a foot race between Kiki Malloy and Carly Petty playing up the middle. Really good job of identifying where the defense is located and
you
just trying to get
Petty for playing up the middle.
No.
I mean, it's Kiki Malloy.
We had expected Kiki Malloy to
Yeah.
bunt. But Kiki just trying to get on, and when she's on board, she's a threat to steal. 22 stolen bases in 25 attempts. LSU did get her yesterday. They had it sniffed out pretty good. Pitch out. Bajaran was in good position and threw out Malloy. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. And a bunt single by Kiki Malloy wouldn't show up on the scouting report because that's just her second bunt single of this season. So it hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened once before. One and two to Gibson, who grounded to Manning at third her first time. The 1-2. Grounded to Manning, who backs up on it. The ball plays her, and everyone's safe.
Boy, that's tough. If you're going to get the lead runner, you got to go get this. Manning making just her second start at second.
I mean, this is where you got to be thinking about the short game, like thinking about bunting, nobody out. The new third baseman.
So Malloy at second, pinch runner Katie Taylor at first, and Zeta Pooney at the plate.
And only 5 sack bunts coming into today's game, right on this, or into this series, I should say. They've had 3 in the series, so it just shows how important it's limited opportunities.
Pooney to Pleasance, to second for 1 on the first, double play.
So, Jess, that's a situation for me. I'm thinking I'm going to sacrifice. I know it's my number 3 hitter, but I'm going to sacrifice. We have not done a very good job of really moving runners, having productive outs, and situation with another righty. It's hit hard right at Pleasance, over to Petty, a very experienced middle infield to Gutierrez. That's an easy double play. Just kind of takes the wind out of the sails of Tennessee.
How about Pleasance and Petty, though, backing up their pitcher? I mean, Berzon after the error.
Popped up Petty under it. And Berzon and LSU's defense, they get out of the jam. Go.
I'm ready.
We welcome in
Anything.
the all-time winningest head coach in LSU softball history.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. What a cool thing, man. And doing it with Howard the whole way by my side. Lindsay was here for most of them, but now Bryce and Quinn with me. So many people that contributed to this, and so many women that gave their heart and soul for LSU. And then the other thing I want to mention, too, is to be in the same sentence with Yvette Girard. I texted her last night, and I was like, you built this house, lady. I'm just living in it. So
I love it. Congrats, Beth, from all of us.
Thank you.
So pumped for you. Going into the game, you call timeout there after the error. Get a great double play from your defense. Berzon still trusts her stuff. What did you say to them?
Just slow it down. I mean, we've got a freshman out here playing third. Just a reminder, like, hey, bobble it, throw it one, like the basics. You forget what they don't know yet when they're young, So just a reminder to slow it down. And you always have an option. You always have a plan, especially when you have a pitcher like Sydney Berzon on the mound. She's going to throw you another out right away. And, she got exactly what she wanted. And Taylor Pleasance, best shortstop in the country in my world. So I'm glad it went to her.
Thank
All right,
you.
Beth, LSU. Congratulations to Beth.
Yeah, it is.
Great fans with really good
Stadium.
cooking.
Yes.
Really good kitchen.
Tailgate. I'm just here for the tailgates, people.
And the mud bugs.
Yeah, the Mudbugs, yes, sir. The name of all three of her daughters on the same travel ball team called the Mudbugs, which is a crawfish that I learned.
Yes.
Lindsay Leftwich made the logo for their team. It's a family affair.
Fouled off, and it's 1-1 to Carly Petty. Yes, in New England, lobsters are bugs, but since crayfish look like little lobsters and they live in the mud, they're mud bugs, so that's the softball team. Although, from what I understand, because of all the success that the LSU gymnastics team has had, that there may be a future LSU gymnast in training in the Trina household as well. So there's a fight going on between softball and gymnastics.
Yeah, and all because of the relationship that this softball program has with the gymnastics teams. Tatum, one of her three daughters, there she's pictured with the SEC championship trophy, and so the gymnast from the team, and she's now gone on to win a bunch of, is it tournaments, gymnastic tournaments? I'm so bad. Meets. Thank you.
Yeah.
Matches.
All because of LSU gymnastics and the relationship, because her mama's, she has them pull. Of course, Beth is like, man, though, the amount of hours they spend in the gym, I don't know, man. This is the whole thing I just signed up for.
That's a real workout. Nothing against a softball workout,
Yeah.
but the gymnastics workout.
No, but her daughter loves it.
2-2 to Petty. In on the hands. Pickens will flip it to first for the first out of the fourth. Jaden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, will be of great interest. This one's hit a mile, but foul. Bajaran struck out, facing Pickens in the second. 1 for 5 in the series. That one's fouled off. Dating back to 2022, we talked about the Tennessee dominance. They have won 13 of their last 14 SEC series, and that's the winning formula for being an SEC regular season champion. You keep taking 2 out of 3 time and again and mix in those sweeps, those 6 sweeps that we talked about.
Just shows how impressive LSU is here battling in this rubber match game.
Yeah. How big this series is right now.
Really big.
Knowing that Tennessee has been so dominant and honestly so consistent. Yeah, they'll lose, maybe drop a game in a series, which you see often now, but they will ultimately win the series. They will bounce back. And this game has been, first of all, a lot of fun because we're seeing more base runners, thank goodness, but it's still 0-0.
You're taking it personally that it's been all pitchers this week, aren't you, Jess? Michelle's just been giving you a little elbow over there, I can tell.
She does that anyway.
Fast pitch, right? It's about the fast pitching of the pitchers.
Well, the Tennessee staff, a 1.43 earner run average. Tops in D1. And that's it for Bajaran, 2 down. Strikeout number 4 for Pickens.
Yeah, we talked about the #1 ranking in the SEC. Well, he called it foul, and then he called out right after that. He called tip, then he called out.
The call on the field is being upheld.
So the call on the field, you saw the home plate umpire saying foul ball, and then because Nugent didn't hold on to it long enough, she'd have to hold on to that foul tip for strike 3. Could not, so that's why Bajaran's back in there with a 1-2 count. So an unsuccessful challenge for Tennessee. That will leave the Lady Vols with 1 challenge from here on forward. Two and two. There's the strikeout. Officially put it in the books as number 4 for Pickens. 2 down.
And this is a well-located pitch, getting underneath the hands. Actually, it looked like the way that Nugent set up is supposed to be outside, but it leaks back over the plate. And sometimes that's what's hard to figure out with Pickens, is that her pitches do have a tendency to bleed back in and run back into the zone.
Strike 1 to Kelly Lynch, who walked her first time. Inside for a ball. How good was Lynch in the circle yesterday? Complete game shutout, gave up 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 6. I wonder how much thought Beth Torina gave to bringing her back on back-to-back to start.
Oh, she thought about it, that's for sure. Definitely because of how little adjustments Tennessee made against Lynch. But I think the reason ultimately she went with Sydney Berzon is she said she pitched just as well. It was our defense that failed her.
Grounded wide of third. It's foul ball. And it's 2 and 2. Defense helped out Berzon last half inning after the error by Manning. LSU turned a 6-4-3 double play, and then a pop-up ended the threat. Two.
So far in this series, we've seen each team win capitalizing on the mistakes of others. So the 3 errors in game 1 that Tennessee capitalized on, and then yesterday LSU capitalized on a fat pitch down the middle from Pickens that Gutierrez hit out of the park. It looked like Tennessee, it looked like each of these teams had opportunities to capitalize early in this game, but just have not yet. And that's not what it's all about, right? It's execution. It's taking advantage of what your opponent gives you.
Now LSU pitching in this series, heading into this game, 3 walks allowed, no earned runs allowed. They have matched the #1 pitching staff in the SEC, pitch for pitch, throughout this series. Lynch could not check. She knew it. Strikeout for Pickens to retire this. You were going to zig, and you decided to zag with your starting pitcher, going with Carlin Pickens today. Just take us through your decision-making process about your starter this afternoon.
Well, I felt like I couldn't have gone wrong either way. Both of them threw really well. Peyton on Friday, Carlin yesterday. And I just felt like Carlin actually had more in the tank, and not in terms of volume of pitches, but I just looking at her game yesterday, I thought, well, Carlin can be a lot better than this, and she's got more stuff that she could throw at him. So thought we'd go with her today, and Peyton's ready to go if we need her.
And Coach, you've had runners on in every inning. What does your offense need to do to put some runs up on the board?
You know, it's the old thing of stringing some things together, which is the challenge when you're facing a pitcher as good as Berzon. And, you know, I thought Zeta, she was on time, and Zeta's been on time, both of her at-bats. She gets just a hair lower on the ball on that. We've got a ball in the gap or possibly something on a line out of here instead of a hard ground ball to short, which was a tailor-made double play. And I think the rest of the way, we just need to be on time for what we want. I think we're a little too far out in front, you know, on the off speed, and we're not getting the barrel behind and under the drop ball. So we've got to be committed to what we want to hit and really committed to that speed.
Karen, we appreciate your time all weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen Weekly rocking the Summit Blue today
Love it.
on a gray Sunday afternoon with the sun keeps trying to peek out here as we head to the home half of the fourth inning. Nugent, Panel, and Rodriguez.
Would like the sun so it warms up a little bit. It's been a little breezy. Well, actually, the sun is popping out, but the flags have laid down a little bit. The wind was blowing in, and I was like, oh, there's no ball going to leave the park. But now we have a chance, possibly, with that wind laying down.
Sophia Nugent was swinging for it. she saw that too, Smitty. Big swing. The blankets out,
Yeah, they got the
beanies.
blankets, the quilts. I knew I was working
come
with.
on.
I knew I was working with someone from Florida and a native of California
Yeah.
when they were, putting their jackets on at 58 degrees outside.
See, we're not the only ones.
No, they know. They know you have to have the blankets in the trunk when you come to a game in April. Chris Malveaux coming to have a conversation with Sophia Nugent. Down the count 0-2.
Both these pitching staffs have done a good job of just disrupting that timing that Karen Weekly talked about. Got to be on time. When you're throwing 3 different speeds, it's hard to catch up to the ball and barrel it up.
Misses for ball 1. Squibbed out to Berzon, and it just spins out of her glove. And Nugent is aboard here to lead things off in the fourth.
It's up like the very top of the bat. That's how early Nugent is on this. And watch it squirm back towards the feet of Berzon. She had so much time, too, and she was kind of rushing to try to, once you saw that spin, you got to make sure, poke that thing with a stick.
It's so hard. Coming out of your pitch, that ball spinning like a cue ball.
It is scored an error on Berzon, and now looking to bunt and looking to sacrifice and maybe get a little bit more out of it is Panel, but she is thrown out. The sacrifice is successful. Nugent moves down to second with 1 down here in the fourth. I've got a moment to tell you that the Stanley Cup playoffs continue tomorrow night. Maple Leafs Bruins, game 2 of that wrap up a big, busy night at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Destiny Rodriguez hit by a pitch her first time. Rodriguez lines it foul. Has that feeling again, like we had yesterday, that 1 run, the first team to score, might be it. So that's how critical that runner is at second base right now. Nugent.
Seeing those sacrifice bunts come out, right? Kind of disappear from the game over the last couple of years. But when it comes to
pitcher's duel, that's when the old school comes back. Wait, how do we score runs again? Gotta move them over.
1-2 the count to Rodriguez. 2-2. Rodriguez, a soft liner is foul.
Try to continually fold on those changeups. Just have to be thinking everything right field.
Best hits have come up the middle or right field.
Another 2-2 from Berzon. Count goes full. Berzon's shoulders drop just a bit
Yeah, she
on
wanted
the
that.
call. The 3-2. Rodriguez clutch in the postseason last season in the Supers, Women's College World Series, 6 for 15 at the plate. trying to deliver here against LSU in what's been an entertaining regular season showdown with a postseason vibe.
Berzon's got to go back with that curveball. Everything inside has just been fouled off. The changeup was the best swing Rodriguez has had on it 2 pitches ago. But she froze on the curveball away. Just feels like that's going to be the out pitch.
Yeah, and to your point, they've, effective velocity windows. You talk about changeups underneath the hands with the drop, set up for the curveball away.
Good battle here, Rodriguez and Berzon. 10th pitch of the at-bat is a liner to Pleasance for the out. 2 down.
She got the curveball. The difference is Rodriguez is what we've seen from all the batters. She pulls it, gets it off the end of the bat. If we saw like Julia Katsuyannopoulos who went with that pitch, that's how you're going to get your hits if you're Tennessee right now.
Here is Katsuyannopoulos, who singled her first time. Ball 1. Tennessee scored all their runs this weekend in the 4th inning on Friday. Trying to break through in the 4th inning here today in a scoreless game. 1-1. Goes the other way, but fouls it off, and it's 1-2.
This is the one hitter where the changeup might not be as effective. You can tell Katsuyannopoulos is really trying to be late. Trying to poke the ball to right field.
Squib foul. We'll do the 1-2 again.
And as a pitcher, it's much harder to beat a hitter that is late than a pitcher that is trying to beat a hitter that is early.
Yeah.
And when you're staying back and they're seeing the ball, it's much harder to get it past them.
In the dirt, blocked by Bajaran. 2-2.
He's having a game back there. That is the 4th blocked ball with a runner on second in this inning. And she's making it look easy, especially because Berzon throws a lot down. She's got to be able to trust she can go there.
2-2. Just missed. Beth Torina takes 3 steps out of the dugout, wondering where that pitch was. Berzon asked for time. Gets the pitch electronically from the dugout from Beth Torina, and here's the 3-2. Popped up on the infield. Petty back to the grass to put it away, and Berzon works out of the jam. And here is the first collegiate at-bat for Madison Manning, who was pinch hit for back in the 2nd inning by Daniel. Manning re-entered to play 3rd, making her collegiate debut this weekend in the field, and now getting her first at-bat as a Tiger. And for your first at-bat in college softball, here's 72 miles an hour. Good luck.
Against last year's SEC Freshman of the Year.
Why not?
Yeah.
Make it a good one.
Down to the count, 1-2.
I just love, you can just hear the dugout elevated for her, knowing how hard she's worked. Was not even supposed to really play this year at all. Possible red shirt. Because at the time they had so many third basemen. Now they're in need. Here she is.
2-2.
Well, this is why you work while you wait, right? You're waiting for your opportunity at some point. You've got to continue to work day in and day out.
Well, and when you're closing your eyes and visualizing that first at bat, you're actually visualizing against the best. Now she gets it.
I think her heart rate is at right about now.
Doesn't seem very high, actually. I think theirs is higher. they're pumped for their teammate. Okay. I mean, I'm giving her the win already.
Yeah.
Freshman, never had a college at bat in her life. She's against Carlin Pickens. She worked it full.
She gets on base. The LSU dugout may storm the field. Bob her at first base. That's the kind of energy that's coming out right now.
Yeah. And how cool is that? I mean, you recognize the players that are just day in, day out, lifting the weights, doing the conditioning, and they don't see playing time.
Went down swinging, battled against Pickens, but that is out number one here of the fifth. That's 3 straight strikeouts now for Carlin Pickens.
Pickens going upstairs. Gets a little up, a little in. Very well located on a 3-2 pitch. 74 miles an hour. Just sneaks that right past Manning, but that's a win for her. That's a great at-bat. Quality at-bat.
Gave Rudity quite a bit to look at. Rudity doubled her last time. The 0-1 from Pickens. 0-2.
Rudy is the only non-home run extra base hit in this series. I mean, it's been single city.
It's been pitching, Jess. Touche.
Whatever.
She's going to get any and every dig opportunity in here with this pitching showdown. That misses, it's 1-2.
As she should. It has been fun to watch, honestly. LSU go toe-to-toe. The best ERA in the country between Pickens and Gottschall.
Slapped out off the glove of Mueller, and it's a base hit for Rudity. Her second hit of the game and of the series.
Then it makes you appreciate these so much more. Okay, you get a lot of the games that we've been a part of, all of us, right, where it's just It City. So this doesn't seem like a big deal, but her to stay back, stay through, poke this one through. They don't make it easy. Mueller got a glove on it. She's 2 for 2. 2 for 3.
I'll bring up Ciara Briggs. Briggs 0 for 2 today. 2 for 8 in the series. Foul tip for strike 1.
She was swinging away. She's been showing only short game this entire series, but she struggled her first 2 at-bats. Struck out, could not get the bunt down her second at-bat, and she took a hack.
One on one. Slap foul, and it's 1-2. Pickens struggled last weekend against Mississippi State. Made a couple of starts. Had a earned run average of over 9, 5 1/3 innings of work. Gave up 7 earned runs. That's a foul ball.
Boy, that's a changeup. And the way that Briggs was able to wait on that and get around it. Defensively for Tennessee, they've got Quitsoinopoulos, the first baseman, well off the line. And look at where Destiny Rodriguez is she is way up the middle.
Just got to cover second on the steal because of the shortstop pulled over.
That's out of play.
Yeah, and so it just shows that Briggs, I mean, if she can get anything inside and pull it, she could be off to the races.
Just up the middle.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the look. First base well off the line, second base up the middle, shortstop in the 5-6 hole.
See how the struggle for LSU at the plate has gone against Gottschall and Pickens this weekend. 2-2 now to Sierra Briggs.
I'm wondering too if Karen Weekly's starting to think about Peyton Gottschall. Just getting warmed up, getting ready, 92 pitches, but ultimately just how deep these counts are now going. Every LSU hitter, either full count, now 2-2.
Yeah, third time through the lineup.
Gottschall watching from the dugout. The 2-2 misses, and it's ball 3. 3-2 now to Briggs. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. Briggs ready. Tap foul again.
Four of the last 5 batters, 7+ pitches. They're doing a better job of fouling off the pitches they don't want to hit, trying to get Carlin to make a mistake.
Into the glove of Gibson to second for one. On to first, not in time. They get the lead runner as Rudity is retired. 2 down. So 2 down for Allie Newland. 0 for 2 today, 1 for 8 in the series.
Be interesting to see if they put Sierra Briggs in motion. She's got 11 stolen bases on the year. I would try something, give her opportunity to run.
This isn't a team that's used the run game a lot this season. 36 stolen bases total. Fouled off by Newland. But with 2 down, you'd give it a shot right here.
Absolutely. And then you have Newland leading off, even if Briggs is caught stealing. But it gives you an opportunity to try something.
The 0-1 to Newland. 1-1. Two and 1. Pickens has walked 3 today. Tennessee pitchers did not issue a walk in the first 2 games of this series. Gottschall got the start. Pickens came on to get the final 2 outs in game 1. Pickens went the distance in game 2. Newland ahead in the count, 2-1 with 2 down here in the 5th. 2-2.
I was just going to say it's a good count for a hit and run. She's probably looking to thread the needle. Not wanting to go to 3-1.
Count goes full, 3-2.
Full count every batter this inning. It's just not as sharp as we saw earlier in the game.
Fouled off at the plate. Newland's hit came in the 7th inning of game 1 of the series. Briggs broke up the perfect game with a chopper over the shortstop. Then Newland delivered a single, and that's the last batter Gottschall faced on Friday. Pickens came on and got back-to-back strikeouts to end the game and give Tennessee a game 1 win. Ball 4, good at bat for Newland. She works a walk.
The entire game, one of the game, that solo shot.
Off speed for strike 1.
Seeing Pickens go 0-0 changeup more this series than we've seen her do it in the past. We've also seen LSU hitters try to jump first pitch, so it's kind of that chess game.
That's off of Gutierrez, and it's 0-2. LSU 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position today, 0 for 8 in the series. Briggs at second, Newland at first. And Gutierrez down in the count 0-2.
It's a close pitch. 62-mile-an-hour changeup on the outer half.
The 1-2. Chop back up the middle. Mueller grabs it, throws on to first in time to retire the side. 4.5 complete, scoreless in the bottom of the 5th. 9-1-2 for Tennessee as Mueller leads off, and it's strike 1 from Sydney Berzon. Mueller 0 for 1 today, 0 for 5 in the series. Chopped foul off the glove of Manning, and it's 0-2.
Pitch a hard drop inside, but the pitch prior, changeup. The changeup has been the pitch of the day. And if you think about it, these great pitch callers, having done their homework through the first 2 games of this series, is everyone's trying to keep everybody off balance.
The 0-2. That's line foul.
Another changeup.
And Berzon is known primarily as a drop ball pitcher, but Beth Torina has talked about Berzon's ability as a game goes along or a series goes along to be what you need her to be in that moment. Doesn't just have to be a drop ball pitcher. She can be a bit of a chameleon out there, and that's what makes her such an effective pitcher.
Got a lot of tools in the toolbox.
And she's got a strikeout. Mueller caught looking.
And Eric, to your point, that's a curveball in the outer half. So she does have that drop ball. She's very heavy drop in changeup. But if she needs to expand the zone, she can do that with a pitch on the outer half. It's got a little down, a little out. It's not just one-dimensional. If she needs to go upstairs, she can do that too. And, you know, basically, Beth Torina will say it. She is a master of a lot of different pitches. And that
second strikeout too, both looking.
Yeah, and you know, just those are the things that pay dividends when you learn in the bullpen to work on pitches that you might need, especially in 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts, where you can expand the strike zone.
It's a Kelly Lynch sighting out there in the
speaking
bullpen.
of bullpen, we saw a little activity down there. Lynch, the rise ball pitcher who was so effective yesterday, doing some stretching right now, did a little throwing. She is in spectator mode right now. 2-1 now to Kiki Malloy. Reached on a bunt single in the 3rd. Flied out in the 1st. 1 for 7 in the series. Line foul. Continues to be the case that Tennessee's hardest hit balls have been foul balls here in this series.
They're good at barreling the ball down the line. Now making that adjustment to stay through it.
Just missed. Berzon trying to get Malloy, could not. The count's now full.
That's the same exact pitch Malloy struck out on twice yesterday. curveball.
Taps it out to Pleasance at shorts on the first. 2 down.
And that probably was ball 4.
Berzon's been very effective. 76 pitches thrown. Talked about her performance in game 1 through 101 pitches in those 6 innings. 70 for strikes.
And remember, guys, this is a 300 hitting team, and this LSU staff has kept them to close to 150. And the biggest thing is these top 3 hitters. Kiki Malloy, who just grounded out. You got Boo Gibson, who's ultimately been their hottest hitter recently.
Gibson in on the hands, right to Pleasance. And Berzon does the job against Malloy and Gibson again, keeping Tennessee quiet, and we are still scoreless for LSU here in the 6th. Just missed. Ball 1.
She does that more often than you would think.
In their
It's the
changeups,
changeup,
yeah.
It looks the way it sounds and the way it flies, although there are pitchers that their hardest pitches are in the 60s, so I get it. That's her changeup.
Pleasance 1 for 2, singled in the 2nd. 2-0. All right, 2-0 count, Jess Mendoza. If you're Taylor Pleasance, what are you sitting on right here? Because you're going to get something good, you would think.
I would be looking dropped, but not that low. I'd be looking literally for something down in the zone that I can drive, because her rise ball, I feel like, is actually the toughest. Or middle would be great.
Yeah.
That tells me she's taking. I don't think Carlin Pickens will give her a pitch that good again.
Squibbed out in front to Pickens. Quickly on to first, and Pleasance is retired for the first out of the 6th inning. Plenty for the Rally Cap crew to go through today as they wrap up the week in SEC softball and baseball. They'll have the highlights, analysis, interviews, and they'll take a look ahead to what's coming up this week, some of the best matchups. That's at 9 Eastern on the SEC Network and also on the ESPN app. This series will have plenty of attention. Arkansas, after losing to Alabama yesterday, they've run-ruled the Crimson Tide today, 8-0 the final in 5 innings. As you can see, little activity, and that could be Peyton Gottschall's music we hear, which is a little louder than most of the music that we listen to. That's a ground ball foul by Carly Petty. If you weren't with us on Friday, Peyton likes her music very loud and very hard, but it gets her into that competitive mindset, and she was phenomenal on Friday night.
Oh, she's a rocker.
Little extra electric guitar in the
Loud screaming, some Motorhead.
Yes.
chords. Yeah, exactly.
1-1. 1-2. Petty 0 for 2. Pickens had her all tied up. Strikeout number 7 for Carlin Pickens, 2 down.
This is the changeup. You see it kind of continue to go up in the zone, and as a hitter, when you see that, first of all, you're thinking, okay, if it's a drop, it's going to be down. Anything up in the zone, that's hittable, but it's 59 miles an hour. You're talking about 15-mile-an-hour difference from her harder stuff.
Strike 1 to Bajaran, who was struck out twice today against Pickens. Ground ball, that's a fair ball over the bag and into right field, and it's a 2-out single for the sophomore catcher. Second hit of the series for Macy.
This is as late as you're going to get. I mean, almost to where the catcher is going to catch this. Look at how far back it is. Almost hits the plate. It works. It's taken down the line.
Yeah, it almost looked like it bounced foul and then still went over the bag because she was so late on it.
Here's Kelly Lynch, 0 for 1 with a walk. Ball 1. Lynch doesn't have a home run with LSU, but had 20 in her Washington career. One on one. Beth Torina is going to bring on a pinch runner here for the catcher, Bajaran. Savannah Bedell comes on.
A contact. Locker, they're both safe. Top shelf.
1 on, 2 outs for LSU here in the 6th inning. The 1-1. Lynch, line drive to left, and it's grabbed on the fly by Riley West. Not the first shoe top in Stanford. I feel a little uncomfortable reading this to you, Jess, but UCLA has won the last 6 meetings with Stanford.
Yeah, it is not.
Were you aware of that?
Yes, because they swept them last year. But I guess going back then 2 years. We don't want to get into overall records too, because that'll be way one-sided. But what's been exciting about Stanford in this series is the first time that they've been ahead of UCLA in the conference, and now, of course, UCLA passing them over the course of the weekend. But
just barely, though, by a percentage point. There's a ground ball off the bat of Zeta Pooney, one down here in the 6th inning for Tennessee. Taylor Tinsley's been one of the big stories for UCLA with those 15 strikeouts in Game 1. We're not going to talk again how Game 1 ended because that is a trigger point for our friend Jess, who didn't handle that too well on Friday night.
hey, not just me.
You spoke for a lot of people on the obstruction review?
Me too.
This one is well hit to center field and deep and back and off the wall. Riley West digging for second, sliding in safely with a 1-out double. Tennessee hasn't barreled up much, but West got all of that one, and the Lady Vols in business here in the 6th.
First extra base hit for Tennessee this entire series. This one at the letters, and she just meets it. Watch her swing stay flat through the zone, able to crush this. I thought it was leaving the yard, ends up off the wall, almost so hard they had a chance to get her at 2.
Now, a challenge here for LSU. They want to go to replay to see if West was safe at second base. It was a hard slide into the bag, and she slipped up a little bit as the tag was being applied.
Well, her foot's high, so it doesn't stay on the bag.
Now, if you let this play through, when that first foot, that left foot just barely skips off the bag, but is the right foot on the bag when Pleasance has the tag down.
Back foot's on there. Yeah, she's safe.
Nugent, 0 for 2. Ball 1. Two and 0. Finally, bright sunshine here in Knoxville. Overcast all day, but clouds continue to clear out. Is the sun shining on the Tennessee offense here in the 6th inning in a scoreless game. It's a 4-pitch walk, 2 aboard for Tennessee with 1 out here in the 6th.
We've already seen activity in the Tigers bullpen, so I'm sure that is continuing. So Raylan chafing up. who's closer to you right now.
Lynch has the glove and a ball, so it looks like she's ready if needed. Taylor Panel takes strike one. Panel 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. She was 2 for 3 in game 2 against Lynch. Oh and 2.
Still a lot of foul balls. Still bottom of the ball for a lot of these Tennessee hitters. And after the 3 errors in game 1, a couple of errors in this game, you still would think that you'd be trying to get that ball down on the ground.
Swung on and missed. Panel can't go to first because the bag is occupied with less than 2 outs. 2 outs now for Tennessee. And now bring up Destiny Rodriguez. Third strikeout for Sydney Berzon. Trying to work her way out of a jam here in the 6th inning. Ball 1 to Rodriguez. Hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Had a 10-pitch at bat in the 3rd. Lined out to Pleasance at short. Two and 0. Two and 1. That call was more popular in the LSU dugout than the Tennessee stands by the sounds of it. That's a hit batter. Rodriguez is hit for a 2nd time today, and the bases are loaded with 2 down.
1 walk and 2 hit batters. Berzon. 2 of them in this inning.
Tennessee wants to win this game. They have to score now. They have to take advantage. 2 free passes, the hardest hit ball of the weekend for their offense. This is their inning.
Katsoyanopoulos 1 for 2. Takes ball 1. Singled in the 2nd, popped out to 2nd in the 4th.
Mechanically, that single in the 2nd was one of the best hits of the game in the series, really, for Tennessee going the opposite way.
2 and 0.
Because of that, they're trying to work around the inner half.
She's trying to be late. She wants to make sure that she's going to hit anything that's going to be right side of the field.
That's Arena coming 2 and 0 to Julia Katsoyanopoulos. Strike 1.
I'm surprised she wasn't swinging 2-0. She's been trying to poke something through the right side. That's the pitch to do that with.
Two and 2.
Yeah, 2 good pitches to attack and the bat on the shoulder.
West at 3rd, Nugent at 2nd, Rodriguez at 1st. And the count is full with the bases loaded to Katsoyanopoulos. Line foul. Line drive, right field, and deep, and a ball! West scores, Nugent scores, Rodriguez held at 3rd, Katsoyanopoulos delivers in the 6th.
And Jess, this is what we've been talking about all weekend and earlier today. Katsoyanopoulos with the base hit going the other way. Same thing here, pitch on the outer half. She lets it travel and just takes it the opposite way with the bases loaded.
Beautiful swing. I get Riley West had the double earlier. This has been the most beautiful swing we've seen for Tennessee. That is a low outside pitch that she barreled off the wall to right field to finally get some.
Berzon was a clutch double by Julia Katsoyanopoulos on a 3-2 pitch. Gabby Leach pinch hitting for Mueller with 2 down and runners on second and third. Line drive, base hit! Leach back to the bag, a pinch hit RBI single, 3-0 Lady Vols. Nice job by the freshman.
Coming in off the bench, gets a pitch, she can drive right up the middle. Again, just staying through the ball. First of all, the first lefty that we've seen now in a couple games.
She had that great hit last night, was put into pinch hit as well late in the game.
Well, Mueller will re-enter and run at first. And runners on the corners. And Tennessee has put 3 on the board here in the 6th inning.
Almost those 2 free passes that have come in that really hurt. Walk the hit batter.
That's why I just kind of felt like, and even for Tennessee, they knew we don't outscore here. We don't win this game. We don't win this series. You have to be able to take advantage. Not have been a ton of base runners.
In the dirt, Bajran's got it. And it's 1-1.
And how about middle, but ultimately bottom of the order that did this, that we're able to get this done? Kiki Malloy, who's up right now, it's been the top that has been very quiet. For the bottom of the order to be able to come through.
2-1. The inning started with the West double, the cleanup hitter, but you're right, Nugent walks after the panel strikeout. Rodriguez hit by a pitch. Katsoyanopoulos on the 3-2 pitch with 2 down with the double. Now Malloy tapped to Gutierrez, who goes for the tag, and that will do it for Tennessee, but not the. Michaela Walker will hit here for Manning. One. So with Beth Torina gone, her veteran assistant Howard Dobson, who's also the hitting coach, will head on down to third base and be the acting head coach for this LSU team.
Well, they're in a good position. They got the 9-hole up. If Walker can get on, they turn it over. Opportunity to try to get back in this game. Gotcha says not so fast, however.
And she comes in. Look at her intensity. I mean, just her eyes, her demeanor, her walking almost all the way to second base, coming back, Motorhead blaring, everyone headbanging as she comes in.
As she gets a strikeout, and she's fired up a little bit more, 1 down.
Well, and this is just all about locates and ability to spin the ball. It's that spin speed we talked about. This is a backdoor curveball, so it looks like it's going to hit you in the hip. Walker thinks, hey, that's inside. It's almost going to hit you. You can see the way she kind of pulls that hip out of the way. That ball comes back into the zone. Gotcha with all that energy.
As we mentioned before, she carried a perfect game into the 7th inning on Friday night, was broken up with 1 out. Pickens came on to get the final 2 outs, both by way of strikeout. Now flip it for Gaccio coming on in a safe situation to try to put it away for Tennessee to take the series.
She lives for these moments, though. And Karen Weekly told us this week. She almost doesn't do as well if she's pitching and it's a 6-0 game or it's an opponent that as much as you want to treat everyone the same, that's not Peyton Gottschall. She wants the close game. She wants to come into close. She wants to be the one when the lights are the brightest.
2-1 to Rudity, who's 2 for 3 today. Grounded out in the first, doubled in the third, singled in the fifth against Pickens. Three and one. Rudity is the leadoff hitter, so if she can get aboard, then you've got Briggs and you got Newland. 2-2, correction on the count, 2-2. Trying to get to Gutierrez, who homered yesterday, or Taylor Pleasance. That's out of play. Reminder, I'm sorry, we'll get you to UCLA Stanford. Just reminding everybody, it's on ESPN News right now. When we're done, we'll get you out on the West Coast.
Yeah, just to follow up on what you were saying, Eric. Rudity 2 for 3. Rest of the team 2 for 20.
Another 2-2 from Gottschall.
Tennessee wanted that, but that is just about an inch off the plate in. It's amazing. Excitement gets higher. Everything is a strike.
Fly ball to left. Riley West drifts over to foul territory. 2 down.
Injuries.
Here's Sierra Briggs. Take strike one. Briggs is the one who broke up the perfect game on Friday night against Gottschall. 0 for 3 today. 2 for 9 in the series. The 0-1. 1-1.
She would have had 2 hits actually on that game. She was the hardest hit ball that was hit that. Riley West made a terrific catch out in left field.
Two and one.
Everybody clap your hands.
Fouled off, and LSU down to their final strike. Gottschall was fantastic last weekend in picking a couple of wins up against Mississippi State. Set the tone this weekend for what was going to be 2 fantastic pitching staffs, showcasing what they could do in this Tennessee-LSU matchup. Fouled off again by Briggs. LSU mustering just 1 run in the series. That was the home run by Gutierrez on Saturday.
Well, it really lights out to the pitching staff for Tennessee, but also their defense has been outstanding.
Called strike 3. Ball game over. Another series win for Tennessee. 3-0 the final.
It really has been a complete